everybody, I'm back again with another recap of 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. This is season 1, episode 13, Breaking Point. Okay, so let's get right into this recap. I'm going to start with Jenny and Sumit, which apparently this man's name is Sumit. Have y'all noticed they called him that? The T must be silent or something. I didn't know. I could have sworn he introduced himself as Sumit, but maybe I'm tripping. Anyway, Sumit, whoever he is, still ain't told his family that he trying to marry Jenny. I'm really over this whole I'm scared of my mom and daddy. Now, like I said before in my live, I might be oversimplifying the fact, how big of a deal it is for him to not be marrying the person that they want him to marry. But at the same time, if you've moved this girl here and you're going to go through with it like you say you are, then you need to man up and tell your parents that you're marrying Jenny. Can we just tell them? In this episode, Sumit has come back from living with his parents for a few weeks. He's back in the apartment with Jenny, and they go to visit some tree. It was like the tree of people. I can't remember exactly what he said the significance was, but it was something to do with their religion. They had to take their shoes off. Anyway, they sit down at a little bench and have a conversation. And Jenny's basically like, okay, so you didn't tell him? He's like, no. She's like, well, what do they do to you when you're there? What is it that's so terrible and makes you so afraid of them? And he's like, they yell at me, they threaten me, and I'm like, you scared of some yelling? Yelling? I know right there, that wouldn't even scare me. I'm like, do you know how accustomed I am to yelling growing up in a black household? Like, yelling is nothing. That's all. Like, nobody choked you? Nobody tried to throw you up against a wall? Nobody has physically threatened harm against your body. They yell at you. Sumit, you sound like a 13-year-old boy. You're afraid that your parents are going to yell at me. And they yell at me. Boy, if you don't, you are 30. Man up. Like, I'm over it. But apparently they're going forward with the marriage plans anyway, despite him still lying to his parents, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. So then fast forward later. They get a surprise visit from Jenny's daughter and her wife at their apartment. Now, this part was really sweet, y'all. I thought it was really, really cute that her daughter surprised her. She was not expecting it. It felt really real. I mean, Jenny was like super shocked. She had no idea. Sumit didn't either. When he opened the door, he was like, who are these white folks? I guess he knew it had to be somebody related to Jenny. I don't know if he's met Jenny's daughter through Skype, but he knew it had to be somebody related to her because ain't no other white folks coming and knocking on his door. So yeah, it was a really sweet surprise. It was a great moment. And apparently Jenny's daughter is want to talk to Sumit about, all the things going on in their marriage, why he hasn't told his family and stuff like that. So, this isn't a friendly visit. She's here to get down to business and wonder why you left my mama in here by herself for weeks at a time. What's going on, bruh? So we'll see what happens next week with them. But yeah, Sumit needs to tell his parents. It has gone on long enough and we are all tired of it. I don't know if it's just that's their storyline. They have to hang on to it, but it has carried on way too long. All of us viewers are over it. Like, can we be done with it already? I'm over it. But yeah, that's it for Jenny and Sumit. Let's move on to the next couple. All right, next is Paul and Karine. Y'all, Paul and Karine need to get a divorce. That's it in a nutshell. Paul and Karine are no longer compatible. Were they ever compatible? I'm not sure, but they're definitely not compatible now. Paul goes out and tries to find a job in Brazil and can't speak Portuguese at all. Not even a little bit. And then comes back and is in a huffy because nobody spoke English. Yeah, Paul, nobody speaks English. They are not required in Brazil to have someone who can speak English so you can get a job. How about you learn Portuguese? After all these years, you have had so much time to even learn a small portion of the language, enough to be able to go into a job place and get work. And then how is Paul even looking for a job? Isn't he still a terrorist in their eyes? Are they not about to deport him at this point still, or has that gotten exonerated? Has he even cleared his name yet? If he hasn't cleared his name in the eyes of the Brazilian Republic, then how in the world does he plan on getting hired for work legally? So nobody speaks English. He's upset that he went out all day and people were telling him, get out of here and go away, white man, and get out of here, gringo. And he couldn't understand what nobody was saying. Nobody could understand what he was saying. So he's mad. He comes back. Karine's like, oh, you couldn't find a job? So he's like, you're never happy. And then they get into this big argument. And, you know, Karine starts to say things, you know, about other men. And Paul's like, oh, you got other men that can take care of you? Cool, I'm out. Here's my ring. You can take it. We can get a divorce. And Karine's like, great, awesome, bye. Karine was not falling for it. Like, Paul thought she was going to be like, no, Paul, don't leave. Karine was like, cool. You want to pack your stuff now or later? Like, we can do this. Karine is done. And I saw in the comments from my live that somebody was like, oh, I must be the only person that feels sorry for Karine. Don't get me wrong. I do not by any means feel sorry for Karine. Paul is just nuts. You know what I mean? Paul is so crazy that I feel like she thought she was getting this American white male who was gonna bring her to America and have a decent living and get her out of the Amazon and out of a hut that has no electricity and is like open air. I know that's what she thought, but Karine by no means is innocent in this. Karine has been cheating on Paul since the beginning. Karine been her eyes and under folks' Instagram posts. Karine been talking to other men. We question the validity of his parental rights to this baby. All that. Karine is not innocent by any means, and she's almost getting what she deserves, because it's like, that's what you get for wanting somebody to save you, and you picked wrong. You picked a terrible candidate to be your white male savior and get you up out of the Brazilian Amazon, baby girl. So now that you see that you've picked wrong, okay, that he is a nut, that he is a complete idiot, a fool, who can't even learn your language, who can't even come here with a clean record and get a doggone job. He doesn't even have enough money to bring you out of there to the United States. Now that we see that, let's cut our losses. So that's basically what happens in the conversation that Karine has with her mom. She goes back home to her parents' house to talk to her mom about all the stuff that's been going on. Her and Paul been arguing. He treats her so bad. Somehow she seems to gloss over the fact that she's texting other guys in English and she's, you know, been doing all these sneaky things. She loves to leave those things out and demonize Paul, which I'm not saying that Paul is perfect. Paul is a fool. Paul do be acting crazy. But I feel like to her family, she's like their baby girl who can do no wrong. And she likes to leave out key parts of the story. But anyway, they don't like Paul. That's the end of it. They're never going to like him. It doesn't matter what they find out that Karine's done. They're never going to like Paul. And so she tells her she wants a divorce. She thinks they should separate. Mama's like, yes, finally. Like, please do. Like, this baby will be just fine without him. Let him go back home. We will raise the baby. You can move in with us. All of us, your brothers, your dad, me. The baby will be loved. It's like Karine, because she has this baby with Paul, it makes her question, does she really want to leave him? Because she's like, my baby's not going to have his dad. Her mama's like, man, forget the daddy. He going to be loved. He going to have uncles, grandma, grandpa, and a mama. That's good enough. That's more than a lot of kids have. And it is, but I also can kind of see that sort of tie. I mean, it's a soul tie. Once you have a baby with someone, you have a special bond with them, and that's hard to break, unless it's extreme circumstances, which I don't think this is an extreme circumstance. I mean, Paul is not, well, from what we've seen, Paul is not beating her. She claims that he's emotionally abusive. I don't necessarily think that raising your voice is emotional abuse, but, to each his own. I haven't seen anything that Paul has done to Karine on camera that I would consider abusive. Now, you have your own gauge for abuse, and of course, we don't see their whole life, so I don't know, but she act like Paul be whooping up on her head when the cameras go away, and I'm like, I ain't seeing that, Karine, so she doing all this crying to make her mama and family have sympathy for her, when really I'm like, you've been living foul out here in these streets too, Karine. So they both are terrible for each other. She clearly is not attracted to Paul if she's talking to other men so soon in their relationship. There's no more love there. They are literally only together for the sake of this baby, and that is not a reason to stay in a marriage. So I think that they need to separate. Paul should go back to America. He can send her some money here and there for the baby, but honestly, I don't think that he's ready to be a father, and I don't even think he would be a good role model for this kid. He doesn't need to be in this child's life. I think that she can meet a nice man somewhere else or in her town that she can marry and that can help her raise her son, and Paul can just send her money from America. I think that'd be good enough, honestly. And I hate to say that because it sounds really bad to separate a kid from their child, because every kid needs a father, but Paul is a buffoon. Paul ain't ready to raise no baby. He is a 35-year-old man-child. So that's what I think about Paul and Karine. Let's move on to the next couple. All right, next is Deavan and Jihoon. Okay, so baby Taeyoung is here and he is so cute. Last episode we saw his birth and they pulled him out and they waved his little arm in the air and oh, it was just so beautiful. He is a cute, sweet little baby. Drusilla? Elvira? Like, I don't know if being a big sister like just has calmed her spirit, but she has been chill. Like this episode, she was so sweet. She was just sitting next to Deavan while she was holding the baby. She hugged Jihoon. Like, I didn't hear her scream or run wild, not once. Now, she was still sucking on that bottle at 3 years old, which I have a problem with, but her behavior was much improved. So, you know, I don't know if it's just she feels like, oh, I'm a big sister now. I have to, you know, I have responsibility. I got somebody to take care of, and that just has calmed her. I don't know. Or maybe she's not always wild, and maybe what we saw were just splices of her wildest moments, because every kid has that in them. And if you took any person's child, no matter how well behaved, and pick their worst moments and put them together on a video reel, it would look like they were really a crazy child. So maybe that's what TLC did to kind of get, you know, it was like clickbait. But anyway, good job for you, Elvira. You were well behaved this episode. And Jihoon just seems totally in awe of his baby. You know, I said in my live that Jihoon means well, and I still stand by that. Jihoon really doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's so just tenderhearted and a sweet guy, really. But Jihoon is a deadbeat dad, y'all. I'm sorry. Jihoon, by my standards, is a deadbeat dad. There is absolutely no reason, number one, that you have never sent any money over to the United States to help with the preparation of your child that you knew about from jump. You didn't even send $1. You didn't have $5 to send. Now, I know you don't make a lot of money, but you ain't have $5. We found out in this episode that Jihoon has not sent Deavan any money at all to help with Taeyoung's birth, buying him clothes, diapers, shoes, whatever. When they're dressing him, he's like, did you buy these pants? She's like, yeah, I bought all of this stuff. Like, what do you think? It just appeared in my house? Yes, I bought it. He's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I bought it. You didn't help me. And like, that's ridiculous to me. He could have said $20 a month. Even if it was that small, that still would have showed me like, oh my gosh, he's trying something. And I feel like he kind of has that complex, how they do in Asia, like that perfection complex. Like, if I cannot send her $150 a month, $300 a month, $800 a month, then I'm not going to send her anything, because she's not even worthy of getting my little money, because I don't make anything. I just work my little job and I'm living my little apartment with my little dog and I don't have any money. So I'm not going to send her anything. It's like, if it's not perfection, then it's not worth. And I'm like, Jihoon, you got to throw that thought process out. Okay. We don't need perfection as mothers from our baby's fathers. We need effort. We need something. We need you to show us that you care in some way, and a lot of times that is monetarily. And the fact that you haven't sent any money because you think that you don't make enough, I don't care. Send me $5. Like, send it. Send me $5 via Cash App. And I will be like, wow, this man, he doesn't make a lot, but he's really trying. He knows that diapers are expensive. Formula is expensive. If she does formula, I don't know if she breastfeeds or not. I haven't seen any titties being whipped out, so I assume that she doesn't breastfeed. Yeah, just something. Jihoon has done nothing. Then this man drops the bomb that he has quit his job. Devan's like, why'd you quit your job? I don't have no money. Huh? Boy. Now, he lucky he wasn't with a black girl, because he would have got cussed out at that moment. I would have cussed him slap out with the baby in my arms. I would have been like, you mean to tell me that you don't quit your job because you don't have any money? And he's like, I need to make a lot of money. Well, look for another job while you're working this one. Like, is he slow? What is it? Like, what's wrong? He's delayed. I think he's delayed. He's sweet, but something is wrong with his brain. If he thinks that it's okay to quit your job because you have no money. Now you are bringing in $0. Now, the job you had, you say it didn't make enough money to take care of Deavan, Drusilla, and Taeyoung. Me by myself, it was cool. But now that I have a whole family coming over, it's not enough. So you go from making a little money to making zero money in order to make a lot of money. In what universe does that make sense? I don't understand. I don't understand. What? And I mean, Deavan was very calm. I don't know if it's just her personality, but she's worried. She is concerned. And this is insane. I don't remember from the beginning, but why is it that Deavan is going to South Korea to live with Jihoon? What is it? Why can't Jihoon come here? He doesn't have a criminal record that I know of, that I've heard. I don't see any... Look, Deavan. Deavan, don't you go over there. That man is not ready to take care of a family. Y'all would be better off with him moving here and all y'all living in the family home like you're doing now. Clearly, you're doing a good job of taking care of the baby. You done bought the baby all his clothes. You done bought the baby all his diapers, all his formula. You are taking care of that baby perfectly fine in America. Why do y'all need to go to South Korea, you and your 3-year-old? He cannot take care of you. He clearly doesn't even have the mental capacity to take care of a family if he's quitting a job and then telling you not to worry. Why? What is the reason? Somebody drop down the comments and remind me of the reasoning why Deavan's going over there and he's not coming here. Because this is a bad idea. This will not go so well. I have a feeling that in the next episode, because we saw her getting on the plane to go, I think she's going to come back. There's no way she's going to be able to stay there. This man has nothing to give her. He needs to come here and live. If they want to be together, he should come here and live in the family home with them and be a stay-at-home dad or something. I don't know what, but he ain't ready to be no father taking care of the whole family. Jihoon, I think he might be a little slow, y'all, because with how he was talking, I need to make more money. So you gonna go down to 0? Something wrong with him. Something wrong with him. Anyway, that's it for Jihoon and Deavan. Let's move on to the next couple. All right, next is Laura and Aladin. So in this episode, Laura and Aladin are having a little beach day. They're trying to get away. He's trying to show her his country. And Laura is, I don't even know if she's just in a bad mood for today or if this is just Laura's personality. I'm kind of starting to think that she's just a complainer, or that she just always has something to say about everything, that she can't just enjoy things and be grateful, that she has to say something about it. And it might be just because she's a woman of a certain age and she wants things to such a high level that if they're not, she's like, I'm going to speak up about it. And I'm like, you don't always have to say everything you think, Laura. So, you know, Aladin's super excited. He's like, are you ready to go? You know, are you excited? She's like, to go to the desert. I'm like, girl, why everything? You got to make everything sound like it's so... He was like, I mean, it's a beach and a desert. Like, she just is a Debbie Downer. And I know that she was crying because she missed her son, because her son said he's not coming to the wedding, and she missed her dogs. But what did you think was gonna, like, I don't know. I guess I don't want to be insensitive and not allow her to feel her feelings and have a tough day where the weight of what she actually has done is really sitting on her chest and she's feeling it. I don't want to deny her that. But at the same time, at, you know, 50 something years old, you know that leaving your country behind forever and your son and your kids is going to be difficult. And that, to me, should have been something that she should have mentally prepared herself for before. And I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm just being mean, but I feel like I don't want to sound like Laura should just suck it up. Don't be sad. You know, she has the right to be sad, but I felt like she ruined the day. At the end, I mean, she ruined it. It was a fun day Aladin planned for them. He really wanted her to enjoy it, to see the beauty of where he lives. And she sucked the energy out of the entire day from what I saw. When they finally got to the beach after she got done crying in the cab, you know, she didn't want to get in the water. Aladin's all, you know, diving in and having fun, and she just wants to sit. Like, these two are not going to work. I say all that to say these two are not going to work, because I feel like Aladin needs a woman, despite age, who is vibrant and full of life and full of fun and joy. And I feel like outside of the bedroom, Laura is not vibrant. Like, she only gets vibrant when it comes down to having sex. Outside of that, she's an old woman. You know, she didn't want, she's like, it's a little too cold. So a young woman would have gotten that water with that fine man. I know I would have. I would have been like, how cold is it? Let me tell you. All right, I can ease in. I'll be out there with you in a second. I would have got my butt in that water with my man. You know, it's like little things like that. And I felt like when they showed Aladin out in the water and her just standing on the beach with her arms folded up with her, you know, cover up still on, it just showed the divide between them and that age gap and how big of a deal it actually is. And when I saw that scene, I was like, this ain't gonna work. That was my first thought. I was like, this relationship ain't gonna work, because she's not what he needs. He needs somebody who's gonna be out there in the water with him, full of life, full of zest, ready for whatever adventure comes their way. That's what he needs. And this woman can't even travel across the world without her feet swelling up. And not to say that that's terrible. That's just where she is in life. And that's okay if the man that she were with were okay with that stage of life. And I don't think that Aladin is. I think that he really wanted her to have fun, and she just wasn't. And I don't think that it was just because she was homesick. I think that's just her. Like, I think she's just a bossy, grumpy, like, older woman. Like, I think that that's really just her personality. She wants things to go her way and only her way. She doesn't like to compromise, and she doesn't like to do adventurous things. Like, this moving there was about all the adventure she gonna give him. After that, she threw. And that to me is gonna create friction in their marriage, and I don't think that they're going to work. I'm counting the days until they get divorced, honestly. You know, she's still trying to convince her son to come to the wedding. He ain't really feeling it. She's really hurt by that, which I think is sad. If it were my mom, even if I thought she was making a dumb decision, I would still go. You know, I would still go and support her. So that is kind of sad, but Laura and Aladin ain't gonna work, y'all. It's just not. But yeah, that's it for Laura and Aladin. Let's move on to the last couple. Okay, so next is Corey and Evelin. All right, so y'all already know that I think that their whole segment is fake, but I'm going to take that off for now. Like, for this recap of them, I'm not going to do it through the lens of that I think it's fake. I'm going to recap it as if I believe everything that they're showing me on the TV as of right now. Okay, so I'm just going to get that out of the way. All right, so this episode, Corey goes for a hike with Evelin's friend Raul. He's trying to befriend him and show Evelin that he's ready to live, you know, the lifestyle and Angabao in their town and be, you know, like one of the locals. Even though he's been going back and forth for 4 years, I said I wasn't going to do that. I said I wasn't going to do it. All right, Raul breaks down and tells Corey for some reason that him and Evelin used to hook up, or they hooked up 2 or 3 times years ago, like before he ever met her, before they were ever together. Which I'm like, why did, first of all, that's something Evelin should be telling him if she feels it needs to be said. Why do you feel like, oh, I just feel so bad? You didn't cheat with her. This was before y'all met. Like, and I don't know any man who feels prompted to tell another man that he used to sleep with his girlfriend. That's something that women do. That's not a man thing. So either one or two things is happening. 1, this is a producer setup for drama. Or 2, this guy Raul still likes Evelin, is probably still talking to or sleeping with or doing something inappropriate with her, and felt the need to tell Corey to try to get him to go away. Those are the only options. Those are the only things that make sense as to why this grown man would sit there and tell another grown man that he slept with his fiance, well, not even fiance, girlfriend, years ago. Men don't do stuff like that, okay? That's just not normal. Also, when Corey gets back home and confronts Evelin about all this stuff, saying that the people in the town are talking about him behind his back, calling him some Spanish word I don't know that means your girlfriend cheats on you. My thing is, if it happened in the past and he forgave her and then she's no longer talking to him, why would the townsfolk still be talking about that? That leads me to believe that Evelin is still talking to this dude, her ex, or Raul, or somebody else. If the people in the town are still talking about something that happened a year ago. People typically don't remember stuff that long. Like, if it happened a year ago, something else, some new drama has come up in that time, and they ain't think about Corey. So the fact that they're still talking about him and calling him this name that means your girlfriend cheats on you means that it's probably still going on. I don't trust Evelin as far as I can throw her. She already lied about her age because she's not 26, and she probably lying about being faithful to Corey too. So he gets back to the apartment. She's like, hey, how's your day? He's like, oh, I'm not so good. So he tells her about what Raul said. She's like, oh my God, I don't know why Raul would tell you this. He must be jealous or something. I'm like, yeah, you know that's your man on the side. Stop playing like you don't know what we're talking about. Then, out of nowhere, Corey asked her straight up if she had slept with her ex in that apartment on their bed that they share. This kind of caught me off guard because I could see him asking, you know, did you cheat with him recently? But to ask straight up, did you sleep with him on our bed, leads me to believe that he already suspected something was going on. Like I said, I'm recapping this without the view that I think all of this is fake. I'm going to assume that what they're showing me is true. Evelin Like a true cheater, instead of straight up answering the question and saying, no, I would never do that. Why would you ask me that? She totally skips answering the question. She never answered it. Corey said, have you slept with your ex on this bed in this apartment that we share? Evelin starts to cry. A diversion. How could you ask me? I can't believe, I'm so angry. I can't believe that you would ask me that. I'm not going to answer the question because the answer is probably yes, because I probably did do it. So instead of answering and telling the truth, I'm going to divert your question directly with tears, okay, and make you feel bad for even asking me something like that, because I did do it. You know, I did. I'm a cheater. And like a true cheater, I'm not going to answer. I'm going to deflect. I'm going to cry. Okay, so it'll throw you off, make you feel bad, turn it back on you. That's exactly what Evelin's doing. Girl, I see through them little tears. You didn't answer his question. She never said no. In my eyes, I think that Evelin is cheating on Corey. She doesn't even like him. Corey is a pawn to use for his money so that she can have her apartment, she can have her little restaurant be open, and she can help her family out. I don't think that she loves him. She probably talking to I don't know how many other dudes back in Ingabao, Raul, her ex, whoever else. She's not being faithful. Something is not right here. The fact that this dude asked you point blank, are you cheating on me? And you don't even say no. You say, how could you ask me that? That's a cheater first line. That's the most thing that cheaters be saying. I can't believe you could ask me something like that. Cheater. Cheating. Anybody who say that, listen to me, folks. Listen, look me in my eyes. If you ask their significant other, are you cheating on me? And they don't say no. And instead they say, I can't believe you would ask me that. How dare you? Do you not trust me? Do you not trust me? If they go that direction, you need to go ahead and pack your bags, all right? Because they cheating on you. The answer is yes. If they can't give you a direct answer, the answer is yes, all right? Evelin is not being faithful. She's hiding something. She's not wearing her promise ring. Corey took his little ring off and threw it. I didn't care about that. Evelin didn't care about that. It doesn't matter, okay? Yeah, these two are not gonna make it. I don't know, but I don't trust Evelin. But yeah, that was it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for staying with me to the end. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter at NICHI_P_tweets for all my live tweets during the show as it airs on Monday night. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like anything I said in this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you like what I do here in this channel. Hit the notification bell. And also share with a friend who also loves 90 Day Fiance the other way as much as we do here in the Trash-tastic community. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.